Hello guys and welcome to another legendary stream right here on freaking Twitch and YouTube. Oh my god. Now today's gonna be so cool because we're gonna have a new game. I'm only slightly worried because I don't know how much my graphics card will be able to handle with a Twitch and YouTube stream. Yes, I know I have a 4090, but again, the YouTube stream takes quite a lot, so we might have to balance a little bit. We're gonna play Control. Welcome in, Vincent. We're gonna start playing Control. On YouTube, I said it to be Control Ultimate Edition. On Twitch, you guys have the right category. Yeah. It'll be cool, because it's gonna be a game that fully supports ray tracing and all that jazz, so let's see how well that's gonna work. Brent, yo, welcome in! Welcome. Okay, but why I'm so freaking excited, also because of the new game, but because I'm finally ready to share more about the tracker progress. And thank you, Brent, for believing in me. Congrats, Dogmaster, on being first. Welcome in, Ethan. Welcome in, Seb, as well. Welcome in, Vincent. Welcome in, Brent. I think I got everyone. Thank you. Let's freaking go. I want to show quickly what the progress is so far. And Ethan, I'm so freaking glad that you're here already, because I wanted to show this, and I wanted to make sure that you get to see this as well. Oh my freaking god. Okay. Because this is gonna be the craziest tracker you can even imagine. Like, I have been working on so many different things that are, like, related to user friendliness. I first want to start off by saying what I still have to do before, like, the full release. But the list is getting short. So this is when the next release will be. And there's only very few things I want to do. And that is, like, adding, like, a small little counter to how many templates are available for each version. Then, okay, this is just rearranging. This, honestly, I can remove. This should also not matter. This is gonna be, yeah, basically updating the README. That's gonna be annoying. That's gonna be annoying. It's just gonna take a lot of time. Like, updating all the documentation stuff. That's gonna be chill. And that's already done. So, to be fair, that's actually crazy. To be fair, everything until the release is basically just documentation stuff. That, like, the main page will look good. Because currently, the things you guys can see here are completely outdated. Like, it's so outdated. There's so much missing here. But that is basically all I still need to do. Which is crazy. And then we'll have one more release before the full release. There's gonna be one release where I want everyone to crank out stuff with the tracker. So I find some more bugs and then have the full release. Because it'd be stupid if I went for the full release immediately. Since there will be issues once more people start testing it. Yeah, Seb, welcome in. Remember the parent controls proof forcing thing? I got another plan, it might be better. No way. Wait, have you actually gone through the 10k combinations? I remember you saying you were, like, halfway, but I don't know if I ever heard you say you were fully done. Because Seb went through all, like, 10,000 combinations of the 4-digit pin or whatever it was. Like, oh my god. What type of phone do I have? This is Samsung A40, right? God, it's like a relatively cheap phone, but it does what it should. I think it's A40. Yeah, it's like $300 something. I really like Samsung. I used to have Huawei at the very beginning. Where do I see the exact details? More infos. Oh, it's opening up the browser. That's not what I want. Phone info. Oh, it's A35. No, I'm stupid. It's A35. Sorry. I don't even know, dude. Like, I don't care about it. Yeah, it's A35, sorry. A35. Oh, I'm a big fan of Samsung, because it just makes it so much easier to go from, like, file transfer with Windows, and I don't know. Samsung just hasn't disappointed me ever. Works really well. Yeah, Google Pixel, yeah, I believe you. Absolutely. Yeah, A35. That's what it is. So, actually, I only need to update a lot here. But let me show you guys what I have been cranking. Oh my goodness. This is gonna be insane. This is gonna be absolutely insane. I want to keep this short, but we'll have a few features to go through. Holy macaroni. Holy macaroni. Wait, for a second I wasn't sure. No, I did see Bluehead. Welcome in, Bluehead. How are you doing? Oh my god. Very nice seeing you. What's up? Okay, I've built the thing, so I'm like opening it up through the Explorer as you guys would as well. There we go. We obviously have this beautiful window. I don't fully remember what like the last thing was that I showed, but there's a few settings changes, but basically this now uses the font of the settings, and you can fully configure which fonts you want to use. So like tracker font, settings font, and if the overlay is enabled, oh wait, I need to turn that off. Can I do that? Yep. And if the overlay is enabled, you can also configure the overlay font. This is still slightly experimental because if the font size is like different, it's not gonna work that well. But I've left it in here. There are technically controls for the font size itself, but I haven't put them into the main UI because they are even more experimental. Wow. And I've like tried and make everything more dynamic. Basically, you guys can see if I go here, in the main settings file, you guys can see my face cam is kind of covering it. There's a UI font size and there's a tracker font size. Technically, in the settings file itself, you can change this, but in the settings window, you don't have that option. So yeah. But it's slightly buggy, so I recommend sticking with the default size, as that just is how it's meant to be used. But you can change the font size of the tracker, for example, to be... you go into fonts right here. This is the fonts folder. And I'm going to just use Roboto, for example. And for the changes to apply, you can hit enter. But for the changes to fully apply, you need to restart the tracker. And I'm not stupid. I made a button to restart the tracker. Look at that. You click a button and it restarts. It's beautiful, you know? And there you go. So the overlay is still separate. The overlay has its own font. You can see the tracker now uses the settings font. But let's go back to... So you can import any TTF or .otf files. Choose fonts. I maybe should mention that. But the main thing is, let's switch this back. So Minecraft TTF is the main one. Hit apply, restarts. Yeah, you can change fonts now. But that is slightly experimental. There might be issues. Like, one of the issues, for example, is that this Minecraft font right here does not support... Like, if I have, like, a preliminary German language file, so this is, like... This is very basic German translations, and you can see that some of the German letters, for example, aren't supported by this Minecraft font, which is the main reason why I wanted to look into fonts again, because I can use Minecraft regular.otf. OTF is a newer format. It's gonna look different, but let's just restart here. You can see it's a lot smaller, but it supports like the U in this case. It supports that. So, oh, you can see, yeah, this letter here isn't supported. So It's a little tricky. It's a little tricky. English characters are all supported, but you can figure your way around it. But I haven't found, like, making a font file is a whole nother story. So I haven't gotten around to that. So for the regular English version, it's all gonna be fine. But yeah, the option is there. The option is there, and you can use .ttf and .otf fonts, where .otf is like a newer version, with more sophisticated rendering. But .ttf is perfectly fine for this. And what I've initially done since the last time I showed anything is I've improved so much. Like, anything you can interact with has very, very detailed, I mean very, very detailed information in terms of what it does. So make sure to hover over things, and you can see there's a lot of info on freaking everything. And yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. And this is only like 10% of what I've added. Here's all the defaults. Yeah, you'll figure it out. It'll make sense. Gotta watch those replacement characters too. Sometimes you'll copy and paste, get replacement characters instead of original character and accumulate errors like that. You know, it doesn't matter because it's only visual. It has no issue in terms of functionality. Like, now we're in the English version, but the question mark, it just can't display the character, but it has no consequences in terms of any crashes. So it's like totally fine. This is just for the user experience. If the user doesn't care that there's a question mark in the characters, then it doesn't matter. Like, this is solely for the user. The only place where those characters are, like in a .json file, nowhere else. It reads from a .json file, that's it. So the question mark is basically just a very, very low level, or very, it's hard to say, like a low level thing that does not matter. Yeah, so it's just a visual error because it's a visual text. This display text is completely visual because in the background it's all named differently, right? It's all named based on these root names, which we'll get to in a second. What else do I want to show? Yeah, I've updated a lot. I have added the functionality for recipes now. You can see in the section order down here, you have recipes. A good way for me to show this is using the CraftMine template, because there I've implemented it. You can see the renewable energy is a recipe. So it's actually 5 advancements up here and a separate recipe, which now counts towards the progress. You can see I've updated this hover text as well to list the recipes. By the way, depending on what version range you select, pretty much all the hover texts, all the hover elements are like different. Because you can see here, it shows like advancement counter tracks only the main. This would all be switched to achievement counter to accommodate for like mid-era versions from 1.7 to 1.11, and it would even just show like achievements for like 1.6.4 and below. And also it would show different sections on the progress. Like, it basically only ever shows anything on the hover text that is relevant for your current version. And this is insane. This is insane. Let me quickly show you guys, because this is probably one of the most exciting things that I wanted to show today. My biggest code file so far was this main tracker file, because this tracker file actually defines all of this tracker UI visual rendering. And this currently has 5,200 and I guess technically 91 lines. 5,291. And basically, I haven't really shown that much, and none of the public releases even have anything related to the template creator. But the template creator file itself, so the utils, like a utility file for the template creator, already has 1,200 lines. And the template creator itself, where is it? The template creator itself has freaking 7.5K lines. Yup. And that is all hidden behind this button. Like, we haven't even touched that yet. And it's like 50% bigger than my previous biggest file. But a lot of it comes from these tooltips. Wherever you see a set tooltip, that's this like hover text that you hover over. And you can see there's a lot, and I mean a lot of like version specific stuff. Okay, this is batch import. We'll get to that. Oh my god. There's so much I need to catch up on. I'm really sorry. I'll stream a little longer today as well, so you guys won't miss out on the gaming stuff. But you can see there's a lot of like, if it's a single select stage, it's this text. If it's a regular substat, it's this, and then it's also different modes. And here you can see it, yeah. For example, if the version is 1.6.4, it says achievements. If the version is 1.11, it says achievements and criteria. And otherwise, for modern versions, it says advancements and criteria. And those kind of conditionals are everywhere. And I literally spent like 2 days doing that everywhere. So you can see filter list by achievement root names, filter list by achievements and criterion, filter list by advancements / recipes or criterion root name. So, yeah. And obviously, wherever there's advancements, I've now added recipes as well, because those are now handled separately. It's absolutely insane. So it's not even the 7.5K, it's like 8.7K because of the utils file. And I guess technically there's this scanner file as well, which has like 200 lines. But that one is negligible. But I guess it's close to 9K lines then. Oh, brother. Okay, so that's that. And yeah, no, I don't want to bore you guys with like code stuff. Let's make sure you guys see this. I'm gonna disable the overlay for now. You can always hit enter. Oh yeah, what I added literally today. If you make any changes, you can see it here. Revert any changes made within the settings window since the last save. I've added Control Z and Command Z. Command for Mac, obviously. So you can press that and it reverts. This is just something I like to press a lot. I love hotkeys, so they're used. And whenever there's a search bar, whatever window it is in needs to be like focused. So if I click out of it, it's going to actually use the search down here. But if I click into here, it's going to use the search within the template creator. I've already shown this with the different search spaces. So you guys just saw there was only templates visible. Then I selected a template. Now its language is visible and we can search within the languages. So if I type _lang_s, that doesn't exist and it's just empty. There's 2 counters missing that I'm still adding here. But you guys might be noticing already, there's more buttons. Last time I showed this, it was only these 4 buttons. And it was also only these 3. I've also added like hover texts also when an item is like disabled. Like, why is it disabled? Yeah, because you need to select the language to copy. Why is it disabled? Because it's the default language and you can't delete the default language. Also, I've selected this here. I can't delete this template because that's the one I'm using here. So a lot of like error checking, which I spent so much time on. As I said, I'm pretty good at breaking games, and especially when you're like developing a game, it's really, really useful that you're good at breaking games because you're gonna find the errors. And yeah, it's really nice. It's honestly really, really nice. So massive, massive stuff. I really don't want to try and bore you guys, but the most important thing is you guys now have insane flexibility in terms of creating such templates. Let me give you guys a rundown. I'm also planning on like making a release video on YouTube. I'll do some preparation and then like I'll make like an actual YouTube for my main channel, actual video for my main channel. To yeah, touch upon every part of this tracker and give like a full overview for people to understand. It's good to break games, absolutely. And the craziest part is now, we have this test 1 template. That's the one I've selected. This is for the April Fool's snapshot, blah, blah. I can either just like export the language. If I click export language, it's just gonna show me the folder where it's in. For macOS and Linux, I can't make it highlight the language file. I think that's fine. But Windows allows you to highlight the one. Like it automatically selected it as well. That's the one you need to export. There's no much more going on. It's just like it tells you where it is. But it gets more exciting if you want to import a language. So let me just go to the exact same folder. If I want to import a language, I can double click this, and obviously I can now rename it. You import the language for the selected template. This is all mentioned here. Importing for test1 for this version and from this path. And you can enter a new flag. I'm just going to do underscore or just like German. Honestly, it doesn't matter. There doesn't need to be an underscore before that. And now that got created right here. You can see it, underscore lang underscore German. I can select it. I can edit the template. I have the German here, but obviously it's just a copy of the previous one, so nothing changed. But that works now. So this is the main idea that I had, that you don't need to copy the entire template just to have a different language file. Because that's what Tiff is currently using. Tiff is actually streaming with like a custom template. But basically with this change, she only needs to have her own language file, which is going to be so much better. So that's importing and exporting languages. But it gets crazier because we can now export an entire template, and you guys can see it automatically, and this was crazy, it automatically makes a zip file for you. Let me just export this into templates. It doesn't matter where you export this. It won't have any functionality. You can see the zip file got created automatically, and now I could import the exact same zip file again. I can now say, hey, why not make this for version 1.21.1? So you can completely change the version. Like, of course, the advancements themselves are not going to work, but technically, I'm going to have a 1.21.1 test 1 template. Obviously, there's a lot of error checking for not using the same names and blah, blah, blah. But this is fine. It, by the way, automatically detected what was the optional flag and what was the name, because it tests for like number at the very end, or it tests for an additional underscore and a set of letters, and like with the underscore it has to be exactly 10 letters or less. So there's some small heuristic that checks for potentially a optional flag, which is really smart. And now you can see it automatically switched to 1.21.1 where I just created the template, and I have the template right here. Obviously, this is not going to work, but we can select this template, and it's for 1.21.1 now. Boom. It really doesn't change much. It just changes some functionality under the hood, technically, and keeps it more organized. But yeah, obviously this template, you could use it and just play on the Craftpoint snapshot. So to make this clear as well, the version you select within the templates, or the template versions in general, are mainly for some like under the hood functionality, especially version ranges. But you could very easily use a like 1.21 template for 1.21.8 as well. There's slightly more info on this page. If you click learn more here, you can see there's these version ranges. So as long as the templates are within like 1.0 up till 1.6.4, 1.6.5, it's gonna work. If they're like below here, somewhere in between here, it's gonna work. If they're somewhere in between here, it's gonna work because of the play 1 minute statistic. And then if they're like above 117, all the templates above that behave functionally identically. So yeah, this is like all explained here. This doesn't necessarily have to be the exact version of your Minecraft instance. Click on learn more on the right to see the version ranges that are functionally equal. So I think that's pretty well explained. It's just like to keep things more organized. This is all still the same. So you have the language files. This is absolutely insane. And now, I've shown all the the search stuff, but you can see now, literally today I added this, that you can see this counter that's still existing for this and for the language part. We can see there's like 1 criterion, 6 advancements. Maybe if I go to like 116, my test template, edit, you can see it shows the exact amount of advancements that are in here, right? It does the same thing for stats. It does the same thing for custom goals over here. It's the same thing for multi-stage goals. Also, if you select them, it tells you how many stages there are everywhere. 2 substats. And this text, and that was actually kind of tricky today, this text adjusts accordingly to your search. So I've typed like adventure in the advancements scope, adventure, and it now refines to the 20 that are visible. If I go for adventuring time and I search within the advancements details, so I search within here, I can search for like forest, and now I can see there's 4 forest biomes: the regular forest, birch forest, hills, and dark forest, right? So it yeah, just adds another counter there. Okay, the absolute craziest thing now. So as if it isn't already crazy that you can like easily import and export templates now, and also separately language files. Because the crazy thing is, you can import a language file that doesn't necessarily belong to the template that you're using. The language file is just gonna delete everything in the language file that doesn't work with the template, and it's gonna keep everything in the language file that works with the template. Like the key combinations that work. See how it, guys? So it's a very, very smart system. But that was more unintentional, because that's just how it works in general with like JSON format. Super, super cool. Obviously, I've done the exact same thing with unlocks here as well. 2 unlocks. Also, if you search within the unlocks. Also, the unlocks option here is only available when I'm in Craftmine. Like, this is insane. And it's kind of unfortunate because the Craftmine thing is pretty unknown, but for me, this is a super big deal, which is why I intentionally added this all to the tracker. You can see this unlocks tab also only exists. You can see there's so much info on everything. Everything. Yeah, you can import a language file for any template. So you could very easily import the language file of 116 for 1.21.8. It's just when you start editing that language file, certain things will have defaulted to root name. Let me give you an example, actually. This is cool, yeah. So let me give you an example. I'm gonna export the language file. Yeah, let's do this. I'm gonna export. So this is the 116 template. 116 has 80 advancements. 1.21.8 has 124. So technically, if I export a 116 language file, we should be able to see very easily which advancements got added in 1.21.8. Let me show you. So I'm going to export the regular language file. It's this one. Okay, to be fair, the exporting, I keep forgetting, the exporting doesn't really do much. It just shows you where it is. So let's just like import it right away. I guess I can copy the path. That's the useful thing. And I'm going to import the regular language, right? Oh, like I'm stupid. I need to import on the 1.21.8 template right here. So now we're going to click import for this 1.21.8 template, because then it does the renaming all by itself, right? This is very important that you need to be in the template where you want to import the language to, because then it does the renaming and everything accordingly. But I'm just going to do old. I don't know. That doesn't need to be an underscore. I'm stupid. You can also press enter on like all of these pop-ups. And now it deselected right here. You can see old. I can also like go for language and search for old. You can see it now filters that. You might not really need to search for languages, but the option is there. Okay. And yeah, I have old selected. I can also still choose it up here. And now, if I scroll down, yeah, you can see right here, all the ones that have the default root name even though display names is selected, obviously if I uncheck this, everything is going to have the root name. But if I show display names, you can see these ones, the Strider advancement in the overworld, that one doesn't exist in 1.16. Or the the dried gas doesn't exist. The XLO doesn't exist. The glow squid doesn't exist. The goats don't exist. This is a very easy way of seeing which advancements exist in 1.21.8. In addition to 1.16, right? So I hope this gives an understanding. Obviously, now if you could do like you type hydration and hit enter to save, right? And now this is configured. But I hope this makes sense, right? But obviously, if I go to default language, here it's all configured already. What I just noticed, it keeps the advancement select. That's really, really cool. Very, very awesome, right? And oh god, this is insane. Because I still haven't even touched upon the biggest thing. You guys might see there is this. And this is so insanely powerful. There's import advancement, import stats. For custom goals, there is no import feature because these are solely for you. No game tracking on this one, which is also mentioned here. Custom goals are useful for tracking objectives manually that cannot be automatically detected by reading the game's world files. So I really, really spent so much time manually typing all this text to make sure that it's fully clear. Also, it always says click the help button for more info. This basically leads you into this reference files folder where I'll be adding constantly new stuff to help you guide, or to guide you guys through how all this works. There's already some like reference files for different versions. Really cool stuff. So this button is also very, very useful. And okay, let's go step by step. What if I want to create... Okay, let's just assume I did an oopsie and I deleted the entire 1.21.8 all advancements template. Oh no. Well, I'm in a debug environment. I could just like get it again, but the point is, freak, what do I do now? What do I do now? I create a new template, name it all advancements. Boom. By the way, you can't have spaces. That's doesn't work. So you need to use underscores, and this is all meant to be that way. No optional flag. Create the files. All right. It already creates a default language. Obviously, there's nothing here. Nothing. And holy cow, look at this now. Tomorrow's MC Live. Yep, that's true. Oh, I should put that in the title. And we're not gonna have the cheat inventory challenge tomorrow. It's not gonna be quick enough. MC Live tomorrow. Thank you for bringing that up. Let me change it on YouTube as well. Bang, save. How close are we? Yeah, it's like I think around like 1.6 million. 1.6 million to spawn. I don't know what I thought that I would do 3.75 million in a week. I don't know, like I should have learned. I should have learned. So it's probably gonna be Saturday in a week. I can't do much about it. But yeah, like past halfway. Okay, watch this. I want you guys to give your honest opinion on this. I'm gonna click import advancement. And Ethan, by the way, this is like an idea I had literally last Friday and immediately had to note down. I think I mentioned this as well with import. This is game changing. Let's go into the reference files folder. Reference advancements file. I think this is a file where I have like pretty much every advancement completed. Let's double click. Bang! Import advancements from file. Look at this. Oh my god. Oh my god. So this is crazy. First of all, you can just select everything. 293 advancements, 0 criteria selected. This obviously... No, this isn't everything. There's way too few recipes. The point is, if I just select everything, it's only gonna select the advancements / recipes. I can also deselect those. If I include the criteria and now select everything, it's also gonna include all the criteria. Let me just make sure we filter out some of the advancements. Let's just go for like story advancements. Boom. Now you can see I filled it out for all the advancements in the story tab. If this is checked and I hit deselect, it's only gonna deselect the criteria, right? But I need to actually make sure I deselect everything first. Let's go for story, and then we select all. And now, also by the way, if I click here, shift click down here, it's gonna unselect everything in between. If I click here, shift click back, it's gonna select everything in between. Same thing with criteria. If I like unclick a few, click, shift click, it's gonna select the criteria because this is checked. If I go reverse, it's gonna not affect the criteria at all. Wait, this is actually an issue. Lol. If this is selected... Oh, I just found a bug. Don't include the criteria. This is checked. This is bad. Oh. Oh. See, I'm good at finding bugs. You shouldn't ever have a criteria checked without an advancement being checked. ARM. Okay, that's on my fix list right away. Fix advancements, import to never allow criteria only when range selecting with criteria checkbox off. So it's very easy to reproduce. You like check this is unchecked, bang, it leaves this on its own. This is bad. What's gonna happen now? Is this bad? Or does it account for it? Follow Ender Eye, form obsidian? Wait, let me test this again. Maybe this isn't even game breaking at all. Include? Bang? Okay, it's this has quartz. One criteria. Oh, it doesn't even import. Oh, I guess I don't even need to fix anything. Okay, lol. It's already accounted for. It doesn't import. Okay, let's chill. Okay, so nothing to fix there, I guess. But the point is, you can freaking search for adventuring time, for example. Or, okay, I'm just searching for the adventure things. If I include criteria, I can range select multiple things here. Let's see, I want to custom track only parts of monsters hunted. Import. I save. Then I can enter, and you can see I can now configure my custom monsters hunted configuration with silverfish, piglin brute, spider, zombie, and creeper. This is insane. I haven't really done this yet, but imagine I import my Inventory challenge. We could do that right now. Actually, I have not done that. Let's do a live test. Let's do a live test. I need to get the folder for that, though. I'm gonna import all of my completed Cheated Inventory Challenge advancements now. And that's over 1,000. Let's break some stuff. No, it shouldn't break. It just might make things laggy. But you can also see, to always keep everything savable, it always puts a placeholder icon. This is a like dirt block with a question mark that I just randomly got from the Minecraft wiki. We're in the 1.21.8 all advancements template. This is crazy. You can see, since I have not configured any icon paths, it's just this dirt block with the question mark. This is the placeholder, the block / placeholder.png. And okay, I'm gonna get the Team Tour Challenge folder. Holy cow, .minecraft, .saves, Achievement or challenge, advancements, and this is the file. So I just need to copy. The always on top is maybe slightly annoying here now, but it's fine. So I'm gonna copy this path, and now if I import, I go here, achievement or challenge, advancements, import, bang. Also, it ignores the like data version at the very bottom. This is completely ignored. These are all the advancements from the Achievement or Challenge, and you can see it obviously supports modded. I've not really touched upon this, but this is the Blazing Caves advancements. You can import those. So I'm just gonna select everything. 2,299 advancements, obviously with the recipes. 12,000 criteria. Well, this is the first step to a Blazing Caves advancement pack, huh? Oh my god, confirm import. And it's, of course, because that exists already. I need to manually deselect those. Story. If I hit deselect all, it's just going to deselect everything in the search. Confirm import. Kill all mobs already exists. Oh my god. Yeah, this, obviously, you would do at the beginning. Kill all mobs. I'm just going to deselect everything. Confirm. Bang. 2,286 advancements imported. Yeah, this is a game changer, by the way. This makes the tracker the way it is. Oh my goodness. This is so cool. Right? If I hit save now, there's a noticeable lag because we are loading the template now. It's lagging like crazy. But yeah, my template in the background now displays over 2,000 things. Let's see if I can close it. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Yeah, I'm trying to like move right now. 1,125 advancements. By the way, it automatically, whenever there's recipes in the name of the advancement, it checks for like the colon. It checks for like recipes slash. That's what it checks for. And that automatically converts it to recipes, which is why there's like 1,000. By the way, this is actually the exact amount of advancements there is in the Blazing Caves Advanced Pack. Isn't it? Wait, so I've actually imported just all of them. I think. Torture, Hardcore Hell. I remember you. Yeah, this is laggy. Oh my goodness. I mean, this is a rendering engine. Oh, look at that. Look at those tiny goobers. Can we get them all on screen? Oh my god. I mean, yes, you will have to work with things being hidden. So they don't display here. On the overlay, this shouldn't matter too much. Oh my god. I mean, I did not expect anything else. It works. It shouldn't crash. It shouldn't crash. Yeah, of course it's so many icons. Oh, you're here. Okay. I might want to deselect this template soon. But yeah, this is insane. This is insane. Yeah, there isn't super much I can do about performance because, well, there is a lot that has to render. Oh my goodness. Goodness gracious. We can print the debug. Right here. If I can get anything to work. How much CPU are you using? I think you're like capping yourself. Oh, it's not you. Yeah, it's fully running on CPU. This is fully running on CPU, which I can't do much about. Just probably one of the main issues here. As okay, heck, this is not responding. Yeah, there's a lot. Okay, you might not want to add them all at once. But it works. Can we get a better view of this? It's unfortunately running through the GPU. Hello? Maybe I can use the search? Okay, we might have to switch the template that we're displaying right now. Progress 0.01%. Well, that's a start. That's crazy. Yeah, this is slightly too much. But it's there. It works. I'll optimize this though. Okay, maybe. Okay, I'll restart the Scoober. Should technically work better if I restart. Even though it might take a while to load. Okay. Can we filter for something? Spider. I want to filter. Please. Spider. I'm typing spider. Oh my god! Oh, have I typed spider twice now? Yes! It now shows all the Blazing Caves advancements that has something to do with spider. Look at that. And even a recipe down there. No, this is crazy. This is crazy. Alright, that actually made performance better again. Wow. Okay, but I need to select something else. At least here. Let me select something else. Wait, no, I just need to go to optimized. All advancements. Optimized. Please. Apply. Settings applied. Oh, okay. There we go. It kept the filter. Yeah, so that works. That works. Holy cow. Okay, we're still gonna edit this template. Yup, takes a while to load. It needs to parse the entire thing, but here it's at least more stable. The next thing is, we're gonna make this the craziest thing ever. We can import stats. By the way, I should mention, it's not gonna be used much, but yes, you can import achievements. I'm currently in 1.11, which is the mid-era. If I go my reference files, and I import a 1.11 stats file, you can use achievements as stats as well, which is super weird. But I guess here I'm actually importing achievements. So yeah, obviously the same behavior with like shift clicking, if that, and shift clicking here. You can import. Obviously I have, you can also cancel with escape. I have all the achievements in here, so it's not going to work. You can also import stats. I'm just going to show it with 1.11. It works the same on modern versions. You can import stats, hit save here, and you can configure them, blah, blah, blah. This is absolutely crazy. And obviously for 1.6.4 with the IDs as well, I can import achievements, reference files. Oh, yeah. For 1.6.4, it actually looks for a .dat file, because that's what's used in this version. So I need to go to my app data. Sorry again if this is a little lengthy, but this is insane. And I need to give an update because otherwise it's just too much. Instances, 1.0, Minecraft, stats. Like, these are global stats. By the way, you can also open, if I close this real quick, you can open your current worlds folder depending on the instance path that is given in the settings. it will open your worlds folder, which is quite convenient for this. But yeah, I'm gonna just copy that, import, paste it here, double click that file, and it will import the IDs present in that version. It's automatically filtering for achievements, starting with the number 5. Because 524, but it's enough to filter for 5. It did the same thing for 1.11.2, by the way. Filtering for the achievement dot. I also made sure that this is how it works for modded. Modded achievements in this version would also start with a 5, and in like mid-era would also start with achievement dot. So it automatically filters the file for achievements. You can literally not do anything wrong. It shows you 4 selected. I obviously can't import because it's already existing. Same thing with stats, but obviously with stats, you can also import, well, stats. And the achievements are still here because you can use achievements as stats. And one thing, I've explicitly filtered in mid-era versions, I've explicitly filtered that you can't import, for example, adventuring time. You cannot import adventuring time, like an achievement with criteria, as stats. That doesn't work. So here here there's no achievements in this world, I guess, but that would be filtered as well, so you can literally not do anything wrong. Anything you can select here, you can obviously import. And yeah. So that's the stats import. Also completely version dependent. You can see it says stats/achievements.json file. If I go over here in .1.0, it says import player stats/achievements.dat file. So it's completely all version specific. It's absolutely crazy. This obviously all reacts to the version here. And holy macaroni. Now let me go back to the Craftmine one. We now, unlocks. I can also import unlocks. I know this doesn't matter for the majority of you guys, but I can also import unlocks if I wanted to. This run number 39, that's actually the speedrunning world that we actually played. I can import this, and you can see I can import any unlocks I want, select all, then I search for SB, no, G. I'm gonna deselect everything that has a G, and then import the remaining 99. Okay, there's some that exist already. Exploration, unselect, starter Pearl. Okay, confirm. There you go. And now I have 99 unlocks right here. Wow. And obviously you can still like reorder them. Within the unlocks, you can search and search for, no, G is not going to do much. Fox, Pet Fox, Bundle of Fortune, and it also shows the amount here. It's absolutely ridiculous. Obviously you need to still save. You could also press Ctrl-C to revert that. Custom goals, not much changed here. Just like rearrange them as you want. And now the craziest thing. So you can import advancements / recipes / achievements. You can import stats, and you can import unlocks. But now it gets crazy. In multi-stage goals, you have an import option based on the type that you've selected here. This was so much work. Basically, this combines all the 3 pop-ups with specific flags so that you can only select one thing. So if you're too lazy to type something, we're currently in Craftmine, so I'm just going to import, and I can import a Craftmine stats file right here, and I'm just going to import Minecraft Zombie, and it's going to replace it here. Boom. Notice how there's no select all, deselect all buttons up here, and shift clicking, you can only select one thing. You can literally only select one thing. That is fully locking you. You cannot select multiple things. It's insane. You can obviously press escape. If you have the type unlock selected, you will have to import an unlocks file, this will work. You can only select one thing. No buttons up here. So it's like the same window, but with a different configuration. Oh my god. And if you have advancement selected, you can import an advancement. And you can also only import one. There's no checkboxes, nothing up here. If you select the criteria, it's gonna ignore it. So it's just gonna be Pale Oak Chest Boat. Pale Oak Chest Boat. It's just gonna ignore the criterion. And now it gets crazy. Instead of stat, I'm gonna select criterion. Obviously, two things open up. It's the parent advancement and the criterion of the advancement. I can import, click the advancement, and now you can see I cannot select the advancement on its own. I need to select a criterion. So let's just go for all mine ingredients. I select pig. I cannot select anything else. Advancements itself get automatically checked off. And I can select, and it fills it out. Oh, I selected cow. Boom. Fully automatic stage generation, basically. And this stage would complete if I have the cow mine ingredient. Dude. This is insane. 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 And obviously, you can still search within a stage. If you go down here, multi-stage global details, I can do zombie, and it's going to filter for that one stage. One stage. Boom. Oh my goodness. Okay, that should be like everything. So you can import, export everything. You can import advancement stats, unlocks. You can import them individually, one at a time for the stages. And I fixed quite a lot of issues with like spam copying and mass deleting stuff today. There were some instabilities. Holy cow. Obviously, if I remove the filter, everything is going to appear. I can like reorder stuff, scroll up a little bit, drag that up there, bang, and it's reordered. This is insane. Also, if you add like a new multi-stage goal, it's going to put the final stage here automatically, because that's like the only requirement. And if you add a stage, it's always going to be above the final stage, because that's very important. The final stage has to be the final one. Otherwise, you can name this as like done or whatever. Done. Boom, save, and it's all cool. So this is insane. This is insane. This is insane. This is insane. I hope you guys like this. I'll be adding more counters. So I'll be adding a counter to how many templates are available per version as well. So when you scroll through this, I'll give you an indication of how many templates are available. Because this is one thing that's lacking, right? I've already seen, I think Ethan, you as well, you've like scrolled through here and just randomly selected stuff and then hit enter and like notice there's no template available. I wanted to keep this version list complete so that people see, oh my god, this tracker supports everything. You know, like this is kind of a deal compared to these drop downs where you can only select what is there. This should really tell the user of the tracker, hey, these are all the versions it supports. It's kind of a flex. So that's the point. But I'm going to add a small like indication number that tells you how many templates are currently available for that version. And I'm going to do the same thing for this dropdown. Add like this little grayed out text telling you how many things are in the list. I'm adding that here, and I'm also adding that for the languages. Let's go to the next thing. And then literally some more documentation stuff on the main tracker page. And then we're getting the next big release. It's not going to be the full release, but it's going to be a release where I want people to find and break this freaking program so I can polish the heck out of it. And I'll try and add support for custom IGT, like speedrunning IGT category files, because apparently the files that the speedrun IGT mod uses to tell if your run is completed, those are also .json files. So technically, it shouldn't be too difficult for me to allow you guys to export from a template to an IGT format so that you can actually have the timer stop in-game based on what category you're playing here. So that's like insane as well. So you can have the speedrunning IGT mod work perfectly in sync with the template that you're using. So that's another thing. Then I'll see if I can do this. Slacko helped me a little bit to actually add proper multi-instancing support. Then, yeah, I'll continue working on the README. Proper resource. This is actually kind of gonna be done. I'm gonna add a Discord channel for Advancedly as well, and maybe work on font size setting again. Yeah, I put that in, like, I don't know, because I really tried doing that for like a day, and it did, yeah, it broke a lot of things, so I don't know. I don't know I'm gonna do that. Then I'm gonna work on an official way of submitting templates, so that you can submit the zip files, people can download them and import them. Then I'm gonna properly translate the 116 template into German. That's something I'll do. Then it's just fixing small things. Oh yeah, my logo also needs some correction. And then it's the full release. And then it's some other stuff, but that's not going to be that important. Oh yeah, I can add it as a tool on speedrun.com. True, I forgot about that. Yeah, but it's basically this stuff, and then it's going to be the full release. And it's going to be the stuff that you guys find bugs, hopefully. Because this is going to be the first release that like officially releases for macOS and Linux as well. Yup. I don't know how versatile the speedrun IGT mod lets me be there. I'll have to look into it, but I know that it's an option. I think Mengs told me. So that is that. The last official release is the 0.64, by the way. We are 213 versions above the last release. I'm sorry, it's been over 2 weeks, but holy cow. I didn't want to drop any release with like the template creator being half done. So oh, what is this? Hats? Feels embarrassing like myself get so far down, you know, control and withdrawals, expression sickness brought me. A churning can help one person get enough of the substance and no churning that briefly shows up poorly what I was doing. Join me in this journey. I believe we can all live our best lives. I'll be on TikTok and Instagram as well. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being supportive. I'm glad he's still alive. I know he spent some time in jail and stuff. Oh my goodness. He is back? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I will watch this later. Okay. That's cool. That's really relieving. Thank you, Dogmars, for sending this to me. I'll watch this later. Not gonna bother you guys with it on stream, but oh my god. Woo! That's... I'm slightly tearing up. That's really cool. That's really cool. That's really cool. That's relieving. Oh my god. Oh my god. No, that's really cool. Childhood creator. Guys, okay, I'm slightly scared now. We are going into control finally. Sorry for this lengthy section, but I needed to make sure I covered everything, and I think I covered everything. I hope you guys understood what the deal is. You can import from game files. So you can grant yourself every advancement, just import it into the tracker, you configure some of the names, some of the icons, and you're done. It's that easy. Like, the adding an advancement button has basically become useless, because you're just importing it anyways. I mean, it's there, obviously, but holy cow. So, we are getting really close. Like, there's no big feature planned anymore for the tracker. Like, that's it so far. Because everything else should be relatively small changes. The only thing that is, like, big and that is left is, like, properly finishing all the documentation. That's, like, the last thing. Holy. Okay, I'm slightly scared now because with the YouTube stream on as well, I'm definitely gonna keep my GPU usage in mind here a little bit on the task manager. And I haven't yet been able to like configure sensitivity or anything, so apologies for that as well. And I also don't know where to put the face cam. We'll figure it all out. Yeah, so this is insane. This is insane. And like, there's still so many things I haven't shown that are version specific. When you hover over any like text input box, it will show you exactly